Hey, I know that you're a lover girl, but let me tell you something. Detaching is better than begging that man to act right. Detaching, shutting down your feelings, most importantly, shutting down your expectations. Because until you shut down your expectations, you're always going to give that man an opportunity to disappoint you, to let you down, to hurt you, to break your trust, to frustrate you. But you know what's better than all of that? Detaching. You know what's better than getting on your knees, basically pleading for a man to do the things he should be already doing. He should really see as a privilege to be able to do. Detaching. Backing away, falling back, however you want to put it. It's so much better to just give up on somebody who got you losing yourself in the process of trying to hold on to them. Until you give up on that man that got you begging him to do things he should already be wanting to do, until you give up on him, you're going to continue to give up on the man that wants to be with you and shows it with his actions. Y'all tell me down in the comments, do you agree or do you disagree? Do you agree or do you disagree? Y'all let me know and keep it real, because maybe I'm tripping. I know we in an age of a lot of lover girls and, you know, it's like, well, I'm this and I'm not like that. I'm not telling you to be spiteful. I'm not telling you to be hateful. I'm not telling you that you can't love. I'm not telling you can't be open. I'm not telling you any of those things. What I am saying is, it is better to just let somebody be who they're going to be instead of trying to fix them, grow them up, inspire them, motivate them to be who they promised to be from the beginning. You do all of that, all it's going to do is have you out here stressed. All it's going to do is have you out here losing weight. All it's going to do is have you out here missing out on blessings and opportunities. You writing essays to explain your feelings to somebody who responds in one-word text messages. You explaining basic respect to somebody who should have learned it in kindergarten. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that's going to save your sanity. You begging is lowering your value while conforming to his, while overinflating his. Every time you plead for basic decency, you are teaching him that bare minimum is your maximum expectation. And so I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop negotiating for what you never should even have to ask for. Detachment, it feels like giving up, and really it is, because I think you should give up on a man being something that he's shown you with his patterns he's not capable or even intentional about being. But detachment isn't giving up like in a traditional sense of giving up on a relationship that requires more energy, more effort, or more involvement from you. No, it is refusing to participate in your own devaluation. That's what detachment is. When I say detachment is better than begging somebody to act right. It's simply accepting. That's all detachment is. Because you never would have gotten attached to this man had he shown his true colors from the beginning, right? You never would have believed in him, invested in him, given him your body, talked to him about things you don't talk to nobody else about. You never would have done that. So all you're doing whenever you detach is you're making things right. You're saying, hold on, let me correct this. I now have new information. Now let me make a new decision. The new decision, based on this new information about who this man truly is that I need to detach. I would be detached if this is who he showed me in the beginning. I would remain detached if this is who he has showed me in the beginning. So many times we try to stick with a bad decision to justify it. We almost want to live down the shame by sticking with this a little bit longer to try to make it right. It's okay to let a bad decision be a bad decision instead of a continuously bad life. Now, some people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But if you ever been in a situation that you stayed in for way too long, then you're going to be able to relate. And by the way, I need to say this. Detaching is good. You do it physically or from the relationship, but it don't matter if you're not willing to detach your soul from this man by breaking the soul tie. You have to detach fully in order to get your peace all the way back. It's great that you allowed him, like you got him out of your life. So now he's no longer damaging you and hurting you. Okay, cool. That's great. But if you establish a soul tie with that man, because you laid down with him, because you really gave him a part of your heart, like you spent real time with him, you now have to detach your soul from him. That happens when you break the soul tie. And you don't have to figure that out on your own. I'm here to help you if you allow me to. Comment the word soul tie. I'll send you the step-by-step steps you need to take in order to break that soul tie and all soul ties you might have. So you can get your peace back. So you can stop ruminating. So you can get your ex off your mind for good. So you can get those trust issues out. Healing alone won't do it. You got to break the soul tie. Comment the word soul tie. I'll send you the full in-depth breakdown of how to break all soul ties for free. I also put the link down in the comments, but back to what I was saying. Every time that you beg that man to act right, you're training him to see disrespect as negotiable instead of a non-negotiable. Your pleas for better treatment, your pleas every time you ask and you try to write 4-page letters and to describe and to educate him on all these things he should already know. Is teaching him that mistreatment is just your opening offer in a negotiation. Begging turns relationship requirements into relationship suggestions that he can ignore without consequences. That's why we not about no begging. It ain't about pride. It ain't about ego. It ain't about none of that. It's about not being in a position where you got to beg him to text you back consistently so that he learns communication shouldn't be something that's just optional when you're in a relationship with somebody. Instead of begging him to make time for you because he feels like you being a priority is up for debate. No, we're not doing that no more. Your begging is his permission to continue exactly what he's doing. So we ain't doing no begging. Begging is another form of trying to force something. We're not doing no forcing. We're doing detaching. Detaching. Detachment says I'm not explaining my worth to somebody who is determined to undervalue it. That's power. I was just talking to my daughter about that. They just got out of school. She ain't number 8 years old. Got a little friend. He wanna, they babies now. They babies. 8 years old. Come on. They babies. But still time for core values. She got a little friend that only want to be her friend if she does this and does that and whatever. And then he acts like he's not going to be her friend if she doesn't do this. I said, oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. It's better to let that boy be whoever friend he want to be than to keep trying to do things and motivate him and incentivize him to be friends with you. Like he's not going to be friends with you unless you do these things that make him convenient. It's better to just not be friends at all. But what if he's not going to be my friend? Now she's 8 years old, so I don't mind her needing this explanation. That's what daddy is for. And I said, baby, it's better to let him go and be friends and not have a friend. At least you'll have room to make new friends instead of trying to force somebody or reward somebody for making their friendship with you conditional based on things. Now, the very core lesson I'm trying to teach her, of course, at the competence of a third grader is that if somebody really rock with you, it's not going to require you to do all of this begging, incentivizing, motivating, inspire. They going to rock with you. And if they not, cool. We not punishing or nothing. No, we just going to fall back. We just remove ourselves from the situation. If they not on their own volition wanting to be associated with you, and by associated, I mean taking proper care of you, proving and showing that they value that friendship, that relationship, that connection just as much as you, cool. That's the most peaceful route you can take. I accept. Whatever it is you want to do, I accept it. But you're not going to do whatever you want to do with me. I accept if you don't want to meet my standard. I don't accept that you're going to have me exchanging with you at a low standard. I don't accept that. Walking away from poor treatment without explanation is the ultimate statement of self-respect. Why? Because your absence speaks louder than any words you could use to beg for his presence, beg for his effort, beg for his consistency. Instead of begging him to see your value, you just got to remove your value, or at least remove your value from his reach, meaning remove his access to that value. You don't change who you are, you change who has access to who you are. Instead of pleading for his attention. And I know these are strong words, pleading, begging. But what I'm saying is, instead of trying to, you trying to earn and trying to motivate and inspire. Like, no, we're not doing that. If he don't want to give you his attention, cool. Don't give him yours. Redirect it to people who give their attention to you freely. Instead of explaining why you deserve better, just open yourself up to be found by better, because it does exist. Begging basically says to this man that he's the prize. But whenever you're willing to detach, it reminds him you are. It reminds him you are. It's strategic withdrawal, which repositions the power by forcing him to recognize what he's losing. Am I making sense to anybody? If I'm speaking facts, put facts down in the comment section. I want to know. Y'all with me? If I'm speaking facts, put facts down in the comment section. And again, I love that we got some people on here, apparently, I'm looking down in the comments, that understand what I'm saying. But don't forget, there's a second part to this. And that's where you detach spiritually. That's where you detach emotionally. That's where you get your mind to stop ruminating and going in circles and being triggered by the thoughts of this man, triggers and memories and everything else. And that means you have to break the soul tie. That's what I'm saying. Again, I put the link down there in the comments. Comment soul tie if you want me to send you this masterclass for free. Soul tie. Just comment the word soul tie and I'll send it to you. The breakdown of how to break all soul ties. I'll send it to you for free. But while you over there asking, explaining, teaching, professing, waiting, he comfortable knowing you'll always be there regardless of how he treats you. But guess what? The moment that you detach, all of a sudden he has to consider his access to you isn't guaranteed. Begging only inflates his ego, but your detachment deflates it by removing the audience that was validating his mediocrity. That's the part they're not going to tell you. That's the part they're not going to tell you. He got comfortable with you asking and begging and guilt tripping because it required nothing from him except continuing to disappoint you. So all of your pleas for him to change and warnings and threats gave him emotional satisfaction without requiring any behavioral change. He gets to feel wanted while remaining unwilling to do what's necessary to deserve being wanted. Jennifer, you said that's the hard part. I didn't say it was going to be easy, but we can't ask or require or hope for somebody else to love us in place of us loving us. Just as hard as it is for you to love yourself enough to leave, he's finding it hard too, to love you enough to do right while he's staying. The only difference is you are responsible for protecting you. He's not. As much as he should be, right? But no, we can't expect somebody else to do for us what we want to do for ourselves. Show up for you. You beg him to be consistent. He's going to feel desire without actually having to be reliable. You begging and hoping and guilt tripping and waiting, you crying for respect. He feels powerful without actually having to be respectful. You're only making the problem worse. You're not creating the problem, but you are making it worse. And I say that from a place of love. I'm not saying it from a place of shame, because when you get invested, when you open your heart to somebody, when you love them, when you give this thing a chance, I get it. Especially if you're a real lover girl, you're going to try to the very last. I'm talking about like with everything in your heart, with every strand of you, you're going to try. That's a good thing. But we want to put that good heart, that empathy, that big heart of yours into the right hands. And you can't get that into the right hands until you're willing to keep it away from the wrong ones or pry it away. And it's great that you're willing to pry it away in a physical sense. You did break up with them. You did try to go no contact, but now we want to emotionally clean the slate, spiritually clean the slate, break all ties. That requires you to break the soul tie. Detachment on every level, physically, soul tie wise, is the only language that manipulators and low effort men actually understand. That's when they get the message. And yes, to break the soul ties, I actually explained it in the masterclass. And it's free, by the way. Comment soul tie. I'll send it to you. But to break the soul tie, it don't take you months. It don't take you years. There was a woman that came in recently, 22-year marriage. I think she was divorced 7 years. Sticking with these thoughts. Weight ain't been the same. Money ain't been the same. She can't get into another healthy relationship. All these different things. She followed the steps from that free masterclass. Within 3 weeks, which I was even surprised by this, within 3 weeks, she said she felt peace like never before. Peace like never before. She wasn't ruminating about this man no more. She wasn't triggered. She wasn't lurking his stories. She wasn't struggling to go no contact no more. She was able to focus on her goals again. That's what happens when you break the soul tie. It's nice to get somebody out your life, but what about not having to be functional while imploding and dying inside the whole time you stand away from them? Hoping that one day they meet their karma, because maybe that'll feel better than what you're experiencing every day. You don't have to live like that. Comment the word soul tie. I'll send it to you for free. I put the link down there in the comments as well. But back to what I was saying, your words, your tears, your explanations, they can all be dismissed. Your absence cannot be ignored. When you detach, all of a sudden, the very man who just couldn't understand before, when it came to your needs, he gonna become real fluent. He ignored 50 conversations about your needs, but the moment that you go silent, all of a sudden he gonna be writing paragraphs and he gonna have all this understanding. He gonna go talk to the lady. He dismissed your tears for months, maybe even years. But when you stop crying and start thriving without him, all of a sudden he gonna have all of this emotion to show in things that he never got to say. Look, trust me when I say this. I know it's natural to you to try, put forth effort, overcompensate, more than meet him halfway, continue to wait, all the things that you've seen other people do. But it's so much better when you're willing to detach. If they're making you choose between begging them to act right and detachment, choose detachment every single time. You'll never regret that. But those are just my thoughts. I'm your internet big bro. And again, if you got anything from this, keep your money. I'm not asking for your money. This is free. But I do ask that you pay this forward by finding the little arrow down here and hitting the share button so somebody else in your timeline can get blessed. Let that good karma find its way to you. Hit the little share button down there. Should be a little arrow, somewhere down here. Hit that arrow so you can share it and somebody else can get this message. And if you want more on how to break soul ties, I'll put the link down there in the comments. It says breaking the soul tie. Click on that link. On that link, it's going to have you register for what time you want to watch the masterclass, Breaking the Soul Tie. It's absolutely free. And you can get those gems on there. It's about an hour-long breakdown. Yeah, I go deep on that. Or comment soul tie, I'll just send it to you. Holla at you, lady. I'll be good. Peace.